there, ghosts and ghouls! Warlock Boo here! And I get asked a lot, what was one of the first creepypastas I read? Well, there was a few, and I think I'll read one of them. This one is The Expressionless by Ivysir. Enjoy! In June 1972, a woman appeared in Cedar Sincer Hospital in nothing but a white blood-covered gown. Now, this in and itself should not be too surprising, as people often have accidents nearby and come to the nearest hospital for medical attention. But there were two things that caused people who saw her to vomit or flee in terror. The first being that she wasn't exactly human. She resembled something closer to a mannequin, but had the dexterity and fluidity of a normal human being. Her face was as flawless as a mannequin, devoid of eyebrows and smeared in makeup. There was a kitten clamped beneath her jaws, so unnaturally tight that no teeth could be seen. The blood was still squirting out all over her gown and onto the floor. She then pulled it out of her mouth, tossed it aside, and collapsed. From the moment she stepped through the entrance to when she was taken to the hospital room and cleaned up before being prepared for sedation, she was completely calm, expressionless, and motionless. The doctors thought it best to restrain her till the authorities could arrive, and she did not protest. They were unable to get any kind of response from her, and most staff members felt too uncomfortable to look directly at her for more than a few seconds. But the second the staff tried to sedate her, she fought back with extreme force. Two members of the staff had to hold her down as her body rose up on the bed with the same blank expression. She turned to her emotionless eyes to the male doctor and did something unusual. She smiled. As she did, the female doctor screamed and let go of the shock. Out of shock, the woman's mouth were not human teeth, but long, sharp spikes, too long for her mouth to close fully without causing any damage. The male doctors stared back at her for a moment before asking, "What in the hell are you?" She cracked her neck down to her shoulders to observe him, still smiling. There was a long pause. The security had been alerted and could be heard coming down the hallway. As he heard them approach, she darted forward, sinking her teeth into the front of his throat, ripping out his jugular, letting him fall to the floor, gasping for air as he choked on his own blood. She stood up and leaned over him, her face coming dangerously close to his as the life faded from his eyes. She leaned close and whispered in his ears, "I am God." The doctor's eyes filled with fear as he watched her calmly walk away to greet the security men. His last ever sight would be watching her feast on them, one by one. The female doctor who survived the incident named her the Expressionless. There was never another sighting of her again. So, my ghoulies, what did you think of that? What do you think the Expressionless was? What do you think she is, and is she still out there? Who knows? Maybe you doctors and nurses who are listening to this may have a very interesting night if you decide to have this unexpected patient. But tell me down below what you think this was. Till then, this has been Warlock Boo, hoping to be spoken y'all later. Bye.